Innovative di Hatiku represents a slogan that focuses on prioritizing community and future students, especially from the B40 groups. The spirit that arises from this slogan is to continue the effort to always give and help the community and prospective students in need. This slogan should remain a principle in every innovative citizen, so that this slogan is spoken in every community throughout the state in Malaysia, and make innovative as the main option to pursue higher education.
Inovatif di hatiku.
Inovatif di hatiku.
Inovatif di hatiku.
Inovatif di hatiku.
Innovative di hatiku.
A pleasant afternoon to our speaker, Aina, Yasmin, Amin, moderator, and my lovely audience. Today, our topic is about Children's Day. Many didn't much hear about what and why Children's Day are celebrated. Children's Day is a commemorative date celebrated annually in honor of children whose date of observance varies by country. In 1925, International Children's Day was first proclaimed in Geneva, which located at Switzerland during the World Conference on Child Welfare. Since 1915, it is celebrated on June 1 in most communist and post-communist countries. World Children's Day is celebrated on 20th November to commemorate the Declaration of the Rights of the Child by the UN General Assembly on 20th November 1959. In some countries, they celebrate as Children's Week and not Children's Day. Without a second thought, let us welcome our speaker to elucidate the topic on Children's Day with us.
All right. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Okay, first of all, I would like to thank Ms. Ruby and also your college for inviting me to be part of this event to celebrate the children's around us, right? And recognizing what are their children's right. What do we need to actually celebrate today, right? So just a little bit about myself. I am from Penang, okay, the land of food lovers, the heaven for food lovers, right? Have you been to Penang, Miss Ruby?
Yeah, I'm from Kedah also.
You're from Kedah, right? So the northern people, I'm sure we have been here. Okay. So currently I'm teaching early childhood education at University Al-Bukhari International University. We are located in the land of paddy fields, Kedah, okay, Ruby's hometown. Okay, and if for those who have not heard about Al-Bukhari International University, we are actually a non-profit international university where we offer scholarship to our students here. And our aim is to accommodate students who are actually keen on furthering their studies, but they do not have the financial means to do so. So we are helping the underprivileged students to pursue their study by giving and by offering free education to them. Okay, so that is just a background about myself. I'm going to pass back to Miss Ruby.
Wow,
I'm happy to be here.
Okay, thank you, Miss Aina, and happy to invite you for our talk today. As today we are going to talk about Children's Day and also continue about talking about children's rights. Okay, so Miss Aina, your experience in education line and experience with different age children. So can you please tell about how was the experience, and do you have the experience different education line?
All right. Okay. So I think I'll share how did I discovered my calling or my passion in this field. At that time, I was working part time at a kindergarten. Oh, sorry, at a nursery after my SPM. So I was waiting for my SPM result. Working at a nursery is very tiring, very exhausting. You have to bath the kids and then you have to feed them, get them to sleep. It was physically tiring. But at the end of the day, when I come back home, I feel fulfilled. I feel happy despite my body being very exhausted. So, and then I discovered that I actually enjoy doing this job, working with children from all ages. So that's why I wanted to pursue in early childhood education. And I tried to apply for my degree, but I didn't manage to get into early childhood education. But I did not give up, and I pursued my master's in early childhood education. And after that, I have around 1 year plus of teaching at kindergartens and also a government institution as well. So right now, I am currently teaching early childhood education at an international university.
Wow,
Okay.
that's good to hear that. So you have different experiences, I mean, different area of experience, where from nursery to kindergarten and then to school age children and also tertiary level. Where are you now? So it's happy to hear that. And also, I hope this journey will continue until the dreams that you want to attain. Okay. So, Miss Haina, so what do you think about Children's Day, and why do you think that it must be celebrated by each nation?
Okay. So like all celebrations, we have Father's Day, we have Mother's Day. So Children's Day is not just a 1 day celebration. We don't just like set a date and then we create all these fun campaigns, fun activities for children. And then the next day we forget that we need to actually protect them when there are cases of abuse or cases of neglect. So Children's Day is actually something that we need to always remind ourselves that these children are entitled to a certain rights, okay, every day, every day, 24 hours, 365 days. So it's not just a day, but it's something that we need to commemorate and feel that these creatures are actually special and they need to be protected, especially by the children. So I think, why do we need to celebrate it? Because although we recognize them as an important part, or they are the member of society, but we still have cases, especially abuse cases, neglect cases, where they aren't able to defend for themselves, right? And we also have children who still live in poverty. They are at risk of violence and abuse, or children who live with disabilities and they do not have access to facilities, right? They don't have the proper facilities for them to actually function or operate in the society. And we also have cases where indigenous children who are at risk and they don't have a valid documentation to prove that they belong to a certain state and they are still becoming stateless. Okay, so it's important for us to recognize that we understand, we are aware of this child's rights, but at the same time, we still have a lot of work to do in the society.
Yes,
So that's
that's
all.
true. Yeah, that's true. So, you think that from your point that it mentioned that each and every nation should understand why we need to celebrate Children's Day. It's not only celebrated by buying a cake, cut a cake, or bringing them to a place that they want. It's about understand the child and then appreciate the children, no matter the children have any disabilities or from, I mean, like any kind of issue. So we need to appreciate the children. Yes, that's true. Even indigenous children also, they need this kind of love. I mean, like this kind of day to remember by us that they're also indigenous children, that we need to look over them, and then we need to like how to say give and help to them what they need. Okay, Aina, Miss Aina. So, do you have any experience, or do you have anything that makes parents to get to know about the children, and then they need to consider about this Children's Day is important in their daily life routine? I mean, like the celebration, they really need to consider about the celebration.
Yes, definitely. I think not only parents have to celebrate Children's Day, even everyone around us, because every adult was once a child. We were a child before, and so we are actually celebrating everyone who was once a children, and the children that we have around us. And we still have that inner child within us sometimes when we get excited for little things. So it's actually a celebration for everyone, but especially children who are unable to defend themselves, and children who basically children in general, but especially children who are being discriminated.
Yes, that's true. Because nowadays we have seen many news about children's, how to say, they have some issues from the house itself. So to avoid this, parents and also everyone, each and everyone should celebrate Children's Day as to know the rights given for the children. They not only celebrate by going outside doing a lot of kind of things, but also understand why is it necessary celebrating Children's Day. Okay, Miss Haina, so what do you think about children when you when the thing children came in your mind? So what do you think about it?
For me, my experience with children, I think that they are amazing human beings and they are very smart. Especially, we have this children generation where we call them the alpha generation. They are actually born with all these digital skills. They are able to operate an iPad or a tablet on their own, without any guidance or any help from the adults. So I think they are becoming so advanced, more advanced than us sometimes, right? But in most cases, I think it's easy to take care of a child when they are happy, but the challenge when taking care of a child or treating a child is when they are having tantrums, when they don't want to cooperate with us. So that's a real challenge, especially for parents, because I have my sisters and brothers who have small children. So I know what it's like, being a parent, being an auntie myself. Sometimes my patience was tested to another level with with my nieces and nephew. So the real challenge is on how we respond to our children, because sometimes their tantrums is not because they hate us, it's because not because they don't want to cooperate, but they have something that they want to communicate, but they aren't able to express in words. So they express it in their gestures, right, with their body language. So adults need to understand the child and how we can actually respond respectfully to them, not just scold them or just ignore their tantrum, but we need to learn the skills on how we can respond respectfully to our children.
Yes, that's true, Miss Haina. It's like uh, for them, it's like gaining some attention from people.
Yeah.
It's like throwing the tantrum, gaining attention from the people,
Yeah.
from a person. Yes. So, and somehow, as you say that they couldn't like express through their words, they express through throwing the things towards the person. And also sometimes they want something, but they don't know what to do, but they will show their emotion, they cry, they shout, and this kind of things that could make parents should be irritated and get angry. But at the same time, if they use different techniques to overcome these kind of issues, definitely there wouldn't be a problem for them to bring up the children. And also they can even solve the problem without going for certain, how to say, certain treatment or anything, because it's within us the way how
Yeah.
to overcome the problem. Okay, even when we were small, definitely we have some issues that we cry to get some things from our mother, from our parents, from our father, isn't it? So how our parents overcome it? So they use a different, but last time parents were very strict. We scared to them, but nowadays children, no, they are too different. So they already know the techniques that we are going to use, but at the same time, we need to understand, we need to follow in their way, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, Miss Aina, that was a good explanation. Okay, so beside that, what are the rights that be given to the kids in Malaysia?
Okay, so when we talk about children's right, it's basically the same as a human rights, because even though children, they are smaller creatures in a sense where they are smaller than us, but they are still entitled to basic human rights. For example, survival rights, giving them adequate food, providing a safe shelter for them, or giving them a proper access for healthcare, and then also the right for free education, the right to protect them against abusive or neglectful environments, right? and also the right for children who do not have families, or we have the refugees children. So, but in conclusion, I think when we talk about children's right, it's basically how we can actually love them and respect them as a unique individual and a part of this society that we have.
Yes, that's true. So, besides understand about the children, the parents need to know about children's rights, because when they want to send children to nursery or kindergarten, in case there is any issues happen, so they can definitely react to the action. They react to the, how to say, the rights that given in Malaysian, I mean, like Malaysian law. So they have certain things that need to be followed. It's not only understand about the children, but also understand about the rights that be given to the children. But nowadays, as you see, many abusive cases, many a lot of cases are keep on coming up after this MCO. So why is it happening? Is it our not only our Malaysian law? Is it the law that around the world still not be like strictly bring up into the nation, or is it they like how to say, leave it like that?
Okay, in
So
my
what
opinion, I think. Sorry,
it's
you can
okay.
proceed, Ruby.
Yeah, so what do you think in your
Your
opinion?
question?
So is there any how to say, any action need to be taken, or need to be considered, or anything? So maybe from your view, you can tell me, Miss Aina.
For me, I think I'm gonna focus on Malaysia. Okay, in terms of like the general sense, I think we do have the children's right from the Convention on the Rights of the Child. You know, there are, for example, there are three protocols that they have proposed. Okay, I'm just gonna share with you these three. Okay, the first one is Protocol number 1, where it covers the involvement of children in armed conflict. Okay, so meaning we will protect these children. And then protocol number 2 would be covering sale of children, child prostitution, and pornography. And number 3 is covering communication procedure, which sets out an international complaints procedure for child's violations. So, but actually, Malaysia, we are actually focusing on these two protocols only, but we actually don't really stress on the procedure against child violations. We are still, for me, I think we are still far behind that in terms of in terms of our legal practices. So things that they are still above the law, right? Where in terms of fragile children's. So I think Malaysia, we still have a lot of work to do, and we should be comfortable with what we have.
Yes, that's true, Miss Haina. So, as what I've gone through, the Malaysian Children Act is the Child Act, as everyone knows, 2001, which is called as Acta 611, is the country legalization for the protection, care, and rehabilitation of children. Okay, this one, I think most of the early childhood educators, when they study about early education, they will undergo this kind of program, where they will get to know how to avoid this kind of issues happening in the kindergarten and also nursery. As you have mentioned that, yes, Malaysian law need to be like more strictly need to be like how to say, tekankan, it's like stress out the important issues, important acta, so that it won't be happen again. So when, because why is it happening is, it's not a strictly law bring it up into the nation. So yes, so once they already happen, already occur a thing, so it will become the second way to, how to say, the thing is not stop, multiply day by day. So we will like how to stop it, it's between the nation. Okay, so for the kindergarten teachers and also nursery and beside nursery, home take care children's, they should understand not to do this kind of things, and also get to the law what will happen if there's issues happen in their area, in their environment. Okay, so Miss Aina, so do you think children's rights are strictly followed by the Malaysian citizen in Malaysia?
For me, there's like no yes or no answer. We do have these two groups of people where there's this one group of people who actually like they would fight for children who are being discriminated, right? And we have, for example, you said that parents nowadays they are actually opting towards a more non-violence punishment, right? And
Yes.
we can see in that sense where many people are becoming aware of children's development, of the right ways on how we can parent the children, on how we can treat the children, and how we can actually talk to the children. But we also have another group of people who thinks that children are very innocent or very helpless and fragile, where they think that they can just they are far more superior than the children, and they can do anything just because they are adults and they are much bigger in size. So we I don't want to say that we are actually strictly following the children's right, but we do have these two groups of people. Because for example, when you see there's like a cases of abuse, you can see Malaysian citizens, they reacted positively towards that, meaning that they are fighting for the child. And we can see that they are actually trying to get justice for the child. And we also have another group of people who thinks that there must be an explanation, who wants to fight for the wrong party, right? So, but in general, I think the awareness in terms of children's right, it's becoming much more widely known by the society nowadays.
Yes, that's true. Because nowadays you can see there are many children's activities have been carried out in outside outlet, in mall and everything, so that the parents could engage themselves between children and them. Because most of the time nowadays parents both are working. Mom and dad
Yeah.
are working, so they are sending their children to the nursery, so that it will difficult for them to get understand about the children. So maybe parents should consider and also should take this thing as a responsible into them to know why we need to celebrate children's day, and also study about article like those days, why they are celebrating children's day, some in some nations, and then some uh, outside world, they are celebrating this children's day as a children's week, like autism day. You can see when you go to the hospital, you can see that there's a lot of pamphlet and posters about autism day and also disabilities day. This is about parents not to feel down about their children, even though the children are uh, lacking disabilities. But they are special children, God children. It's within you, it's between you, how you brought up the children into the world. So that's the thing. Okay, last but not least, I just want to ask you from my idea. So, Miss Aina, so how would you celebrate Children's Day if you once become a parent? How would you celebrate your Children's Day? Yeah, in
Oh,
future.
I think to make it special, even though we agreed that Children's Day is not just a one day celebration, the children should be treated respectfully every day, right, the entire year. But like for special activities, I think I would put my smartphones away, put all the gadgets away first, right? Because this is some of the issues that we have nowadays. You know, we are too attached to our smartphones, our gadgets, that we don't connect with the people around us, especially with children's, right? Some even give smartphones to children as well, just hoping that they would keep quiet and then sit down and try to behave properly. But for me, I would spend quality time with with my future children, for example, right? Just put your smartphones away and take them out for a lunch, or bring them to a theme park, or bring them to any places where they can actually explore and spend quality time with the parents. Okay, but if you bring them just to like a playground where they can play by themselves, I think it defeats the purpose, because we want to spend quality time with our children. So just bring to any places where you can actually connect with your children. Ask them what they want to do, or what they want to learn, what they want to explore, and try to do that.
Yeah, it will be very nice if I were in your if I become your children. So I definitely will like happy kid in the world. Yes,
Yeah.
because nowadays kids, they are more like love themselves to go out. When you see most of them, they are bringing their children to go to bazaar. They are going to mall, because children nowadays, they want to explore. They don't want to
Yes.
sit in a place. Yes, they don't like to sit in a place like those days, like our days. They don't like sit in a place. They want themselves to be like active, want to go here and they do this and thing. So
Yeah.
um, that's why Children's Day is important for them, for the parents to appreciate the children, to understand the children, spend more time with the children. In 365 days, maybe for 1 week in 365 days, they can spend their time with children. So, okay, so I hope this talk will give some benefit for those who are watching our live, and maybe they can change the nation and also change their future generation, upcoming generation. So thank you, Miss Aina, for joining us for today's talk, as this was a simple and nice talk, and I hope everyone understand. Okay, thank you, Miss Aina. Is there any
Thank you
words
so
that you would
much
like
for
to?
inviting me.
Thank you, Miss Aina. So is there any word you want to put?
I think to conclude, I would just want to share with everyone here that in the end, we have to accept the children for who they are. You know, even for autistic children, children with speech delay, developmental delays, in the end, we have to accept them for who they are, despite us wanting to give the best for them. You know, you want to put your child in the best child center, at the best school, but at the same time try to listen to them and be attentive of their needs, because sometimes we forgot to listen to our child. We would just ask them to do this, to do that, to listen to us. But at the end of the day, when we try to listen to our children, they will feel much more appreciated, and they would eventually listen to us. Yep, so that it would be my conclusion.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Aina. So let us see, is there any comments so far? Only Aisha Humaira just say hi, and she welcome in Assalamu alaikum. So that's all. I think many of them don't have any questions. I think so far they like thinking, maybe they think. So okay, that's all for today, and thank you for joining us. Maybe for the upcoming session, I would like to invite you to keep more thoughts about children. Thank you,
Yeah,
Miss Aina.
Miss Ruby, we can actually talk about more topics, right? After this, we can
Yes,
make
yes,
more
yes.
collaborations.
Maybe we can bring two or more, one or two more. Uh, I mean, like
Speakers, right?
yeah, speaker for our event. Yeah, that's all. Okay, thank you, and have a nice day, Miss Aina.
Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Assalamualaikum. Have a good day.
Okay, bye-bye.
Saya Cik Am, Senior Counselor, inovatif di hatiku.
Hai, saya Aiza, inovatif di hatiku.
Saya Yahurin Muhammad Yasmin, inovatif di hatiku.
Hai, nama saya Kana, inovatif di hatiku. Saya Aini, inovatif di hatiku.
Saya Arisha, inovatif di hatiku.
Hai, saya Ain, inovatif di hatiku.
Saya Wanu Fazira, inovatif di hatiku.
Saya Nurfahana binti Zul, inovatif di hatiku. Saya Asma Amanina, inovatif di hatiku.
Hai, saya Hamka, inovatif di hatiku.
Saya Muhammad Helmi bin Abdul Rahman, inovatif di hatiku.
Nama saya Nurul Al-Akila, penolong pendaftar Kolej Inovatif Antarabangsa, inovatif di hatiku.
Hai, nama saya Ahmad Faiz bin Abdul Razak, inovatif di hatiku.
Saya Abdul Rahman bin Kasbi, pendaftar Kolej Antarabangsa Inovatif. Inovatif di hatiku.
Inovatif di hatiku.